Welcome back to Onebar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus. Onebar is under the weather with some horrifying and painful diarrhea, so I'm rocking it solo today. Today we're going to talk about where Danielle Hunter, 5 landing spots for him in free agency. Where could he end up? Will it be with the Vikings? We're going to talk about it. Before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like, and comment. And you know what? If you got it in you, if it's in your heart, become a YouTube member as well. All right, let's talk about Danielle Hunter. The defensive end, outside linebacker, so damn good. 17.5 sacks last year, I believe it was. Where is he going to end up? He's ready for one final huge payday. Will it be with the Vikings? Definitely could be. One of the landing spots is the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings need them. I mean, going to this offseason, this defense has so many holes, especially on the front seven. Right now, Andre Carter, Patrick Jones are the only two edge rushers on the roster. Without Danielle Hunter, you can't go 2 rookies. I mean, you could bring in somebody else. You're going to have to either spend money on Danielle Hunter or spend money on another high-priced edge rusher. So why not go with what you know in Danielle Hunter? The dude's just a beast. So good against the run, so good against the pass, a true complete defender. But can the Vikings afford him? He's already kind of made it known that he's going to go where the most money is. You can't blame him. Will it be in Minnesota? Vikings do have some cap space to work with, but there's other teams that are going to be in the mix, and we're going to talk about those right now. And the next one, it's the Chicago Bears. They have the cap space, and they have even more after cutting Eddie Jackson and Cody Whitehair yesterday. Could you imagine facing the Bears defensive line with Montez Sweat on one side, Danielle Hunter on the other? It's a horrible, disgusting thing to think about. It makes me absolutely sick, makes me scared, makes my private parts shrivel up into nothing. It would be horrifying. I don't like that idea one bit. Danielle Hunter on the Bears would suck. It also would free the Bears up in the draft to not have to use an early pick on an edge rusher like a Jared Verse or Dallas Turner. They could load up on other areas of need. So, yeah, the Bears a possibility, and one that's starting to get some heat behind it, which I do not like one bit. Let's stick in the division. I think the Detroit Lions can make a run at Danielle Hunter too. They don't have as much cap space as the Vikings or the Bears, but they have enough to make one big marquee signing. And what if they decide, you know what, Aiden Hutchinson, we need to get him some help. Let's bring in Danielle Hunter. Let's put all of our chips in and get this guy. Because really, the Lions are going to compete again in the NFC. I mean, I know they had some things go their way. They stayed healthy last year, but now they can do it again. They have enough talent on offense. They have some issues on the back end, but if you increase your pass rush, that helps your back end. Danielle Hunter, Aiden Hutchinson, again, that's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying, and he could be what that team needs to make the final push to get over the hump to win the NFC title game next year. So, again, it's a horrifying thought to think of Danielle Hunter in the division on the Bears or Lions, but it's definitely a possibility the Vikings fan should at least brace themselves for. Let's go with a couple out of the division options. The Texans, the Houston Texans, they really need another edge rusher. They got Will Anderson on one side. They got nothing on the other. They got some money to spend. A team that's, they made the playoffs last year. They got the young quarterback in place. They need another edge presence. Danielle Hunter would make a ton of sense for them. A great compliment just on the field to Will Anderson Jr. and then what he can teach him with all his experience. He'd be a great mentor, a great help to his development. So Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter in Houston, it makes a lot of sense. And again, if he's not coming to the Vikings, I want him far away from the NFC North. So Houston will be just fine. And I got one last option, and this team is a shit show. But the Washington Commanders, they just have more money than anybody else. They have like 80-something million in cap space, and they have holes everywhere. Does bringing in an aging veteran make sense? I don't know. Teams do this shit all the time. They sign high-priced guys. If they want to, at least compete in the next year, maybe bring the Hunter is something they can do. Right now, their current starting ends are KJ Henry and something called Jalen Harris. I don't even know who the hell those are. So if they decide, you know what, we're going to back up the truck, do everything we can to get Danielle Hunter, give him this huge-ass contract, he could go there. If I'm Danielle Hunter, I mean, if I want money, strictly money, I may be willing to listen to what they have to offer. If I want to play for a contender, I'm going to hang up the phone immediately because I think Washington is years away. But just with the amount of money they have, they could really just write Danielle Hunter the biggest check, and he can get that big payday to sail off in the sunset with. So those are 5 landing spots for Danielle Hunter. Let me know in the comments. What do you think of those? Do you have some more? And for the love of God, wish Onebar quick recovery, and also keep your skull in your hole.